André Rieu, often called the King of the Waltz, is one of the most famous violinists and conductors in the world today. Millions of fans know him as the smiling man with the violin who brings joy to stadiums filled with people from all generations. His concerts are not just about music, but also about laughter, dancing, and a feeling of togetherness. However, behind this cheerful image lies a story filled with pain, challenges, and struggles that shaped him into the man we see today. Rieu was born on October 1, 1949, in Maastricht, Netherlands, into a very strict and disciplined household. His father, also named André, was a respected conductor, but at home he ruled with fear and coldness. Love and warmth were almost absent from the family. Rieu has openly admitted that his parents never showed him affection, and this left him feeling lonely as a child. His mother valued discipline and academic success above everything else. Creativity and imagination were considered weaknesses, so young André felt misunderstood. Things started to change when, at only 5 years old, he met a violin teacher who encouraged him to play with feeling and emotion instead of just following the rules. Through music, he found a voice that he did not have at home. This discovery opened a door that would later lead him toward worldwide fame. But the road ahead was not easy, and every step forward came with personal battles. As André grew older, his love for the waltz began to take shape. Unlike many classical musicians who stayed within the strict traditions of orchestral music, André felt that the waltz had a special beauty and emotional power that touched people's hearts. Sadly, his father strongly disapproved of this choice. He believed waltzes were too light, too sentimental, and not serious enough for a professional musician. This difference in taste created deep conflict at home. Things became even more complicated when André met Marjorie, the woman who would later become his wife and strongest supporter. His mother strongly opposed their relationship, adding more pressure on him. One evening, after Marjorie was told to leave the family home, André made a bold decision that changed his life forever. He walked out of his parents' house and never returned. From that day on, he built his own life without the support of his family. Even after he became world famous, his parents never attended his concerts. This rejection left a deep scar, and André later spent years in therapy trying to deal with the emptiness of his childhood. Yet instead of letting this pain destroy him, he turned it into motivation. Music became not only his passion, but also his escape. Every note he played became a way to express what words could not. While his parents failed to give him love, André found comfort in the violin, which became both his lifeline and his source of freedom. By the late 1970s, André had completed years of professional training, performed in traditional orchestras, and gained plenty of experience as a musician. Still, he felt that something was missing. To him, the traditional concert experience was too stiff, too serious, and too distant from the audience. He wanted to create something different, something alive, joyful, and filled with human connection. In 1978, he started a small group called the Maastricht Salon Orchestra, which included just 12 musicians. They played at weddings, small halls, and community gatherings, always with the idea of making music accessible to ordinary people. Behind the scenes, Marjorie played a key role by managing bookings, handling finances, and even helping with arrangements. Without her, André admitted later, none of his success would have been possible. In 1987, he took an even bolder step and founded the Johann Strauss Orchestra. At first, it was small and received little respect from the classical world. Critics mocked them for being colorful, smiling, and entertaining instead of wearing black suits and being serious. But audiences loved it. By breaking the old traditions and making concerts fun, André and his orchestra connected with people in a way that classical music often failed to do. Slowly but surely, they built a new kind of concert experience that would soon explode in popularity. The turning point in André Rieu's career came in the 1990s, when he and his orchestra began reaching international audiences. One of their biggest breakthroughs was performing at the UEFA Champions League final in Vienna in 1995. Imagine football fans, known for their energy and passion, swaying and clapping to the sound of waltz music. This was proof that André had achieved something remarkable. He had turned waltz music into a global phenomenon. Soon, his albums were selling millions of copies worldwide, and his concerts were filling stadiums usually reserved for pop stars. In Australia, more than 38,000 people attended one of his shows, a number that shocked the music industry. At one point, he even had 8 of the top 10 best-selling DVDs in the country. For many families, his concerts were more than just entertainment. They were unforgettable experiences that brought people together across generations. While critics continued to accuse him of making classical music too light or too commercial, the fans proved them wrong. To André, the most important thing was the joy he brought to his audience. He once said, "With us, you don't feel the solemn hush that drives people away." His concerts were designed to make people laugh, cry, and celebrate life together. And that vision was what set him apart from others. Just as his success was reaching new heights, André faced a major challenge that threatened his career. In 2010, he was struck by a severe viral infection in his inner ear. For an ordinary person, this might have been uncomfortable. But for a violinist whose balance and precision were everything, it was devastating. The infection left him dizzy, weak, and unable to perform. Tours had to be cancelled. Fans were heartbroken, and for a time, it seemed like his world was collapsing. Traditional treatments did not work, and for months he suffered from vertigo that made even standing up a struggle. What saved him was an unexpected letter from a fan in Australia who had gone through the same illness. The fan shared special exercises that helped him recover, and step by step, André regained his strength. His return to the stage was celebrated not only as a comeback in music, but also as a story of courage and resilience. However, the illness left lasting scars. André admitted that his balance was never the same again, and every concert carried hidden risks. The king of the waltz, once seen as unstoppable, now knew his limits. This experience changed the way he looked at his life and career, reminding him that health and happiness were more important than fame, as if illness was not enough. Tragedy struck again in 2016 during a tour in the United Kingdom. André received the heartbreaking news that his close friend and trombonist, Ruud Merckx, had died suddenly in his sleep. For André, this was more than losing a colleague, it was like losing a brother. The Johann Strauss Orchestra had always been more than a professional group. It was a family built on years of shared memories, travels, and performances. The loss was so painful that André cancelled the rest of the tour, refusing to go on stage while carrying such grief. In later interviews, he admitted how deeply the death affected him. Although the concerts eventually resumed, they carried a new weight. Behind the joyful melodies was a hidden layer of sorrow that only those close to him could fully understand. This period showed another side of André Rieu, not just the entertainer who brought happiness to millions, but also a man who could be vulnerable, who carried grief, and who used music to heal. His fans admired him even more for this honesty, because they realized that behind the glamour was a human being who felt lost just like anyone else. One of André Rieu's most remarkable achievements is how he changed the way people think about classical music. Before him, classical concerts were mostly limited to opera houses and theaters with strict dress codes and a serious atmosphere. For many people, this made classical music feel distant and intimidating. André broke those barriers by bringing waltz music to stadiums, open-air arenas, and public squares. He proved that classical music could be joyful, exciting, and welcoming. His tours became some of the most profitable in the world, at times even surpassing big rock legends like U2 and the Rolling Stones. What made this even more impressive was that he did it without radio hits or mainstream pop culture support. Instead, he built his success on television broadcasts, DVDs, and the loyalty of fans who passed his music down from generation to generation. Families often attended his concerts together, with grandparents, parents, and children all sitting side by side. This multi-generational appeal became one of his greatest strengths. He redefined what it meant to be a superstar in the modern world, not with scandals or constant reinvention, but with authenticity, joy, and love for music. Looking back at André Rieu's journey, It is clear that his story is about much more than just music. It is about resilience, courage, and the power of staying true to one's passion. From a painful childhood with little affection, to worldwide fame built on joy and unity, his life has been a mix of struggles and triumphs. While André Rieu is admired for his musical genius and stage charisma, one of the most important parts of his life has always been his wife, Marjorie. They married in 1975, long before he became world famous, and her influence has been quietly but powerfully present in every step of his career. Unlike the glamorous image of André smiling under the spotlight, Marjorie has always preferred to stay out of the public eye. She rarely attends interviews, avoids the limelight, and focuses instead on being the anchor that keeps the family strong. Yet behind the scenes, she has been the backbone of his success. From the earliest days of the Maastricht Salon Orchestra, she handled the practical side of the business, arranging bookings, managing finances, and supporting André's vision even when others laughed at it. André himself has admitted many times that without her, none of his dreams could have come true. Beyond music, their marriage has been built on mutual respect and understanding. While André spends much of the year traveling and performing, he has always emphasized that home is where he finds peace. Their relationship also helped him heal from the pain of his childhood, giving him the love and stability he never received from his parents. Fans often remark that while André may be the face of the waltz revolution, Marjorie is its silent heart, a reminder that behind every great man, there is often a partner who makes the impossible possible. Their marriage has lasted decades, a rare achievement in the entertainment industry, and it continues to inspire his fans, who admire not only his music, but also his loyalty and devotion to family. The Johann Strauss Orchestra, which began as a small and almost experimental project in 1987, has grown into one of the most unique and beloved ensembles in the world. What makes it different from other orchestras is not only the music, but also the spirit of togetherness. For André, this group has always been more than employees, it is a family. Many musicians have been with him for decades, traveling across continents, sharing meals, and celebrating birthdays, holidays, and even weddings together while on tour. This closeness is one of the reasons fans feel such warmth during their performances. When the musicians smile, laugh, or even shed tears on stage, the audience can feel the genuine connection. Unlike the stiff formality of traditional orchestras, the Johann Strauss Orchestra performs with visible joy and camaraderie, which makes concerts feel more like celebrations than serious recitals. However, leading such a group also comes with massive responsibility. Each tour involves managing flights, visas, hotels, meals, and rehearsals for more than 100 people. In the early days, André took enormous financial risks, sometimes investing millions into large stage sets, costumes, and transportation. At one point, these expenses nearly bankrupted him, and he admitted to lying awake at night, worrying about whether he could keep everything afloat. But his determination to provide a magical experience never allowed him to cut corners. Over time, his son Pierre took on the role of tour manager, helping to organize logistics and reduce the pressure on André. Today, the orchestra is not only one of the most recognized ensembles worldwide, but also a symbol of loyalty, friendship, and shared passion, proving that music is most powerful when performed not just with skill, but with love. Behind the glittering image of André Rieu's concerts lies a history of financial